specifically. Clanks, Tremble, Midas, and Swiftblade banned. You do see Formless actually banning Midas themselves, which I find very interesting because they're the ones that first picked Midas last game. Fuzzy Sloth is a great Midas player, but I guess they didn't have intentions to pick it up this game, so instead they ban it.
No, apparently not. I honestly think that Hellbourne would have banned it in the second spot if they didn't ban it themselves.
Yeah.
Then I understand the Tremble ban, like both games. I mean, Formless had a very impressive Tremble in the finals of last cycle, so...
Your teammate, Imbaboy, also played it very well yesterday against X-Sync, so...
Yep, does very well in that hero as well. It's a strong hero, so...
Yeah.
understand them getting that out. And Clank seems to be the first ban, no matter who plays. No one wants to deal with it.
Nah, he's getting changes. He's getting changes in the next patch, so we'll see how that really affects things ultimately moving forward. But it's one of the many that we got to keep an eye on. Parasite Aluna Behemoth coming out here for Complexity so far. By the way, it's Magmus and Pyromancer for Rockstar's Reborn. So, but Complexity again, another case of they got a lot of roam heavy. They got the jungle Parasite here for some aggressive play, and the possible man up is potential.
Yep, definitely. But when they pick the Behe, it's usually a second support man up hero. It's not the core farming up top, or else it has to be mid. But I think that they'll stick to their 1-2 lane this time, 2-man safe, and then Parasite in their own jungle because of that Behemoth pick.
Mm-hmm.
And here, as we see from Hellbourne's side, they pick more what they're used to, Magmus, Pyromancer here. A lot of stun burst heroes. I think it's a dual support, and then with 2 roamers this time around. Glacier's obviously good with the freeze against the Parasite, so I think that's why they picked it up over other supports.
Yeah. I used a lot of time there too, though. Only 4 more seconds remaining on the extra time here, so
yeah.
Need to keep
it's early to be using all that time on a Glacier's pick.
Yep. It's cool to see. So you're thinking we're thinking that this is going to be a dual support, a support Pyromancer as well. You want to see it in a farming role, perhaps, or?
It could be, but then it has to. I don't think it will be. No.
Okay.
I think it's a second support, and the hero is very strong at that because he can, of course, farm jungle as well when he gets the levels and around with Creep Wave with the two nukes that he has. So it's a strong hero, definitely. Also as a hard support, but you need to find the levels to be effective at that.
Absolutely. So we'll see again how that works for him, or for this team, and what am I to say? But anyways, we got the bans finishing up here. We got Bubbles into Oogie, Doctor into Dark Liddy, and now one more to go on either side. So banning at Oogie, though, against Complexity, always a powerful idea. Bushwhack taken out. Bushwhack saw a little bit of action last cycle. You guys ran it, but also Complexity ran it. Later on in fact, I think it was in the grand finals, if I'm not mistaken. So we've said it a couple times and do very well both of those times. So what do you think of Bushwhack?
I think it's an okay hero. We usually pick it when the enemy team picks something like a Swiftblade and Clanks is banned. It does sort of the same thing or we utilize it in the same way that we use a Clanks to just farm up, getting that Lightning Claw. And then he has the advantage that his slow goes through the Swiftblade spin, and he can just right-click him down very, very quickly. So
yeah,
it's an effective hero against that hero, especially also in a one-on-one situation.
Ooh, they go Prisoner here. Prisoner 945 coming out for Complexity. So Fuzzy Sloth very likely going to get his hands on that, of course. Ooh, they're kind of pick. I was gonna say, Ravener, I wouldn't be surprised to see once again for Complexity, but actually, Rexar's Reborn takes it for themselves.
I'm actually quite surprised that they ban Oogie, because if they want to man up Trilane, what hero do they want Formless to not play? I mean, Oogie they can kill. Dark Lady could potentially charge away, so they ban that. Madman, of course, a good ban, hard to kill. So I would have liked to see them ban another hero than Oogie, because if you man up against Oogie and shut him down, he will not have the impact that you have seen in many games where he has the 500 GPM. Almost soloing your team. So surprised by that. They could have banned something else.
Well, you see here that could possibly get away. The Sandwraith is kind of one of those. He's being right-clicked here by Complexity, so...
That hero is very strong against 2 supports. If you manage to get the mark, of course, those 2 supports are just going to melt just die without them. I mean, just to the illusions, there will be 50% HP or even less. And if he decides to point in on them, they die. So they will win team fights if they pick that hero. When he has the mark, of course.
Yeah. You see, Gemini was also right-clicked, and then they even got the Scout being of interest, perhaps. But Gemini is obviously a very... Oh, my God, I love it.
Well, they go the Scout.
They do.
I would have liked the Sandwave more, especially also because it cancels blinks from Ravenor and from Magmus. So canceling that initiation and getting initiation on your own with Prisoner, BE, and of course Sandwave porting in could be very strong. But they do go over to the Scout. I guess that they are feeling confident, want to try something new here.
Well,
I haven't seen them done it before.
Well, kind of them, but actually, Revolution did run it last cycle. It was against Sana Esports, so again, one of the lesser teams, to be fair, but still, it was a very impressive performance. He ran as a carry scout, and he had an insane stat line by the. I mean, and it was clearly powerful. And the more I thought about it too, after watching that game, it really opened my eyes at least to. This Scout actually has a lot of carry potential. Disarm is, I think, one of the most underrated abilities in the game. It actually does a lot, and you may not realize it as a spectator, but when obviously he gets that coming out of the Vanish right there, puts a Disarm on you, you can't auto attack back. So he's kind of an anti-carry as well because of that. So
this game though, he has the problem that there are two heroes he wants to hit. He wants to hit Puppet and he wants to hit Ravenor. So we'll see how that works out.
Yeah. Yeah, that Puppet, how about that? That final pick.
Yeah.
Kind of came
out. I like
there.
it, but then they have... I mean, Ravenor is a hard carry, of course, but it also is initiation with the blink. And then Puppet is, of course, a hard carry as well. You can just sit back and do damage while Ravenor and Magmus does the stun and Pyro Burst on top of a guy as well. It's a very deadly combination here. If they can find some hero kills early on, they can be in a good spot. Very good.
The big thing we were both kind of bringing up last game about the lineup of Rexars was that it's a very greedy, and they weren't really playing it that way. They were playing aggressive. It just seemed like not their play style. Now, game 2, it's a much different story. This is definitely a much more of an aggressive makeup here. And so ideally, as long as they play similar to like they did last game, it could actually work out much better this time around, of course, with every hero having a lockdown, really, or some kind of stun ability, and a lot of burst damage potential. So good to see.
This is what I'm used to seeing from these guys.
Yeah.
So, I think that's more their comfort zone.
Huh. That's weird. Look at the Parasite skin right now. It's like half invis, it seems like. Pause does some weird things. Oh, he's not playing Scout, so... Oh, he's playing the new Scout, actually. That's the...
Is it the one where if you buy an item, he gets equipped with that item?
No, this is actually from the Fantastic Four series. Or, excuse me, it's not the Fantastic Four. It's the I forget what they're called. Oh, yeah. What do we call it?
You can see.
I have to check.
I don't remember.
That construction worker behemoth, by the way, looks awesome. I want that. The Vanishing Woman. Yeah, she's from... I don't know what they're calling her. Anyways, I'm getting stuck here. We're in a pause, so who cares, right? Hellborn team, though, definitely a makeup. I mean, both sides have potential to play a little bit more aggressive as far as the lanes go if they want. Are you expecting anything here? Or?
I think it's who's playing Oscar offlane, then dual mid here from Complexity with Parasite roaming in, trying to get that hook off and the Parasite follow up onto whoever they put there. I mean, Prison is so deadly against any other dual mid. I mean, if hookers, like there's this general rule where 2 hookers usually beat dual ranged mid and melees as well here. So. And I mean, dual range or hookers beats melees here, a melee hero farming, and dual range is very good against hook heroes. So then the other way around with. So that's what you sort of have to, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Sure.
Sure, if I say so.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what they end up doing here.
Yeah.
Well, it shapes up, but I mean, 0-5 from the beginning though. For Rexars is heading towards the Legion jungle, sure enough, and. They're going to run right into this Parasite, perhaps, and he turns around at the last second, but...
Parasite buying boots. I think he's expecting the man up, of course, and then he will just rotate around to whatever camps are not blocked.
Yeah, looks like it's going to run right by that ward of sight, so obviously we'll see all 5 of them in the jungle scouting it out and expecting some blocks here. But
that frees up space for Luna to put wards in Hellborn jungle here. Are they gonna do the Scout Aluna or Scout top here? That's the question. I think he wants to get the farm and then dodge the tri-lane. I think that's their priority. Then Behemoth goes against the free heroes.
Well, we got, who's setting up here for the Hellborn side? It's Ravener right now. You got Glacius as well, so, okay, interesting. They're actually kind of doing a 2-1-2 setup here to start. It's the Hellborn team, at least.
Oh, Glacius.
Uh-oh. He's in trouble. That was a nice wall right there, but the hook was a little too late.
Yep. It's only 1 second, the Behemoth's done. So you have to hit the block and make sure he cannot get out in any way for that to be effective. But nice attempt.
Yeah, might as well go for it. A bloodlust kill at that point are very effective, but unfortunately just short, so.
But look at this, Puppet free farm bottom against no heroes, and Complexity's running the quad lane top here.
You see that so normally, like, yeah, they're running the quad lane top lane.
It's because it's happened before. I mean, when you have a Behemoth, it usually happens when you have Behemoth on your team. He's not gonna get anything against the tri-lane, so he might as well help out in a lane where he can do something.
Yeah. This is so weird.
It's definitely weird, but I understand the reasoning for doing this.
Okay.
He's expecting free heroes bottom. They can dive him anytime they want, especially with Puppet Master.
So they want the Glacius though, right? I mean, maybe they don't feel like they can kill Ravener yet, but they're gonna go right here. Yep. All of a sudden he appears, the wall's perfect, and no chance for Denver Pro. He puts the ball lightning, but even if he goes, he probably will. No, he's just gonna keep running because he has the distance. Oh my God! Seriously, he's gonna live. Oh my God, they're all gonna live. Oh, finally, Glacius goes down the leech to finish him off. The fact that Ravener lived, though, that was a pretty big deal, but at least they get the bloodlust.
Oh, the potion was cancelled. Oh, that's a shame. But that's caught the Hellborn team off guard. 100% that Behemoth was up here. But definitely put some pressure on Puppet Master down here. Complete free frame. What he will be able to do this game.
Yeah.
Magmus is doing very well mid here. Of course, that volcanic touch ability is harassing, was zoning out the scout.
Yeah, I wouldn't think Scout's, I mean, he's solid, but he's not like a standout last hitter. I mean, I guess the disarm does help a little bit, but nothing too crazy there. So, yeah, Magmus winning, as you pointed out, 15-0 compared to an 11-0 Scout, but still pretty early on here. Keep a close eye on that, though. Top rune, oof, Magmus going to get it first. Bottom rune, somebody got it. Double damage Behemoth, okay. But now he's level 1 against a level 4 Puppet Master. So,
yeah, it's rough times here. But I would like to see one of the Hellborn supports rotate down bottom now, because they should expect. I mean, they know that Parasite's not in their jungle, so he's bottom, and Puppet can't really be alone here, even though he has a lot of levels. So.
You see. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I'm getting confirmation. So I was wrong. It wasn't against Sonic Esports Revolution when they ran the Scout. It was against Chopstick Gaming, and so now known as HTS4 Reborn. So some of these players they are actually pretty familiar with
X-Sync did it as well against PMG here. Was it 2 days ago or something?
Oh, really?
A little while ago, yeah. They did some. They played him like where they backdoored while the enemy team tried to push. Because PMG had the better team fight, but they couldn't. So they couldn't fight, and they did a lot of ratting, and they won the game that way.
Yeah.
It's intense, at least. Both teams had the chance to win and lose that game.
Yeah, I didn't get the chance to watch too many of the matches from this last week, and of course out of town, but heard Snooey did a great job, as well the co-casters he had on. A lot of fun there, but good to be back. Cast more on, and again, what normally would be an off day, though, but sure enough, a rescheduled match here. Right now, Complexity up 1-0, but Rexar's Reborn trying to tie it up at least, and finish in a tie, because obviously no matter what, this is the final game. But all right, GPM though, again, Magmus continues to be on top. So this tri-lane, the bloodlust kill was great and all, but it seems like the lanes and individually the heroes. I mean, you got Magmus and Puppet Farmer well, where it's only really a Scout right now for the Legion team. So is it a little worry for Complexity, or?
Yeah, it should be. I mean, Ravenoid is now farming here, and they're stacking the woods. We're trying to, at least. Pyro tried to stack this one, but he failed. The Antloik Necromancer camp can be a bit tricky. So I like what they're doing here. I think it could be a better game for the Hellborn side this time.
Yeah,
Puppet has the potential to solo kill the Behemoth down here. I would have liked him to see him max out the W instead. It would give him the ability to do it.
Oh, the Puppet Master, yeah.
The Puppet Master, yeah.
With the show. More
But I guess he is zoning him out anyways and has the free farm, so it's really, that's also alright.
Well, I think it's one of those cases too. You have to. I mean, he was literally by himself at the bottom lane in the beginning, so
Yeah.
I think he got level 4 before anyone even appeared. So, getting maxing out a puppet show and there's nobody there seems a little silly. So,
Yeah,
I can understand that.
It makes him effective to, at some point, rotate to jungle, but I would assume that Ravenor is going to do that, and he's going to be looking for kills instead of Ravenor.
You got Scout.
Getting that Shroud up.
Yeah. Scout now, the game that I did see with that was Screwy played it for Revolution, he actually went the Rune Cleaver, and it seemed like that worked out pretty well. Would you expect to see that here? Or?
I mean, he's 350 GPM. I think he almost has to, because his team is not doing well in their lanes. I mean, Behemoth's getting experience, but he's 150 GPM. Prisoner is 220 top. It's very hard to get 300 plus GPM when you're in the off lane, because you have to be aware of the 2 supports up here.
Mm-hmm.
So they will not get any blinks anytime soon. So he should probably go for the Rune Cleaver and then start farming until his team has any sort of initiation.
Yeah.
And wait to fight until then. This is definitely a slower paced game, which benefits complexity.
Yeah, 6 minutes in right now. You do see Magmus stunning it on the Scout, but just harassment really. Obviously, with that Vanish, and no dust or anything like that right now. Not much he can do to follow it up. Double damage rune going to be bottled up by Behemoth, by the way, at the bottom lane before Magmus gets to it. So good rune control there from Complexity coming out. I think you should have take it here. Steam Staff purchased by Flux Kavana on the Puppet Master, so he's getting that early Assassin Shroud for himself. Good
so he's working on that. That's a good pickup. Yep, I like it. I would also like to see Hellboy go for the runes more aggressively here. I know they're stacking and pulling here, but they should at least get the top rune. Prisoner was able to just walk up and take it. I think when you have 2 supports in your own jungle, you need to make sure you at least cover up that rune, because they can't see the bottom one. If there's an invis, one of the cores in those lanes could potentially die. That's not something you want to see happen.
What you got has had a little bit of trouble in the jungle, seems like. I mean, he has the assist even, but he only has 200 gold per minute right now. So, are you surprised, or is it because of the supports maybe boxing him out in the aggressive jungle early on, or what?
It's because of them being a long lane in the beginning, and then he has to walk all the way bottom again, start rotating there, and then his camps were still blocked, and they actually reblocked the top or the right camp here. So that has not spawned. That's unfortunate for him.
Yeah, it's gonna be
that's why his
frustrating.
GPM is 200 here.
Middle lane, Prisoner taking some good damage. He's gonna hook back in. He only got Glacius though, and not really the follow-up there. Anyway, Scout is kind of nearby. He puts the silence out, but it's just too late. You see the leech on a Puppet Master. Has also auto attacks, but there's no way that Complexity was gonna get a kill right there. So immediate retreat. Although Behemoth, he has other plans apparently. He's kind of just charging in. He throws out the fissure, and it's gonna block them off and be good for the time being. I don't think they're getting any kills out of this though. As that would be pretty risky to chase.
But they also haste on the ground here. If they give that to Magmus, they could go for more. But they don't have any vision, so I think just bottling up and going back to the lanes is the safest. Yep.
Yeah.
It's just gonna happen. Well, that's what you like to see when you have 2 supports, getting those kills on, especially on trying to get them on Scout in the mid lane. I know they got the Prisoner, but that's very huge for them.
Yeah. And you got Ravenor at the top lane just continuing to farm away. So the Denver Pro, it's a slower start, but he's upwards of now 300 gold per minute here himself. So, again, good news for the Hellborn team. Bottom lane, Scout is dead. That was the Puppet Show and Puppet or Pyromancer even coming together to successfully get the kill onto him. Do they dust, I assume? Yeah, you see Scout, or Pyromancer has the dust.
Yeah, I like what he did now. He started leveling up the W, so it has longer duration, and he caught the Scout with the Puppet Show, and then it buys time for Pyro to run in with the follow-up stun, and the dust to finish him off. So it's very well executed.
Yeah, middle lane, Fuzzy Sloth in the meantime also getting comboed down. It's a very deadly combo. Pyromancer Magmus I've showed right there, of course. So, but yeah, just we're talking about how Scout's kind of an anti-carry with the disarm. I mean, to be fair, Puppet Master I've always seen as kind of an anti-carry to especially melee heroes, melee carries with that Puppet Show ability. Very powerful tool to keep them locked down.
If he gets the Voodoo Puppet on your carry, he will die, especially if it's a Scout.
Yeah.
Go on him.
Wow, they're really going at him right here. That's going to be a marksman shot. Not enough for the... Oh, that was a leech. Okay. He canceled the marksman shot, actually. It almost was a little risky. But Oscar secures it in the end. with the kill. So
definitely needed for complexity here. I mean, having Magmus free farm mid and Ravenor free farm top and Puppet free farm bottom, they can't really allow all 3 lanes to be farmed by them. So they have to collapse on 1 lane, and that's what they did here.
yeah, Glacius
Glacius is stacking triple ancients now, so there could be a blink for Magmus. Oh, he doesn't have ulti, never mind.
Oh, he doesn't
Behemoth.
have an ulti, but he's going to stun on a Behemoth and set up an easy kill. Happen to be nearby.
Yeah, well played. And they can actually clear these triple ancients out, the 3 Glacius, Pyro, and Magmus if they want to. But it looks like they're going for Scout.
Yeah, they're going to try to go for him. I mean, they got the dust on the Pyromancer. If Scout goes up right here, he could be in trouble, but I was going to say, I don't know if he is. It looks like he has fallen back. He has a life tube now. Again, that could be in many items, but probably leaning towards the Rune Cleaver.
Yeah.
I had to guess.
I would like them to see them take the triple ancients with Magmus, Pyro, and Glacius. I know they're probably saving them for Puppet or Ravenor, but getting the gold on those 2 points right now is huge. Glacius doesn't have the boots yet, so that would be very good for them. And they can always stack them again in time for Ravenor to have Abyssal Skull to, or what's it called? Yeah, Abyssal Skull.
Yeah, Abyssal Skull.
To seal them up. Yep. I thought it was the Dota term. Yeah, confuses me sometimes.
You were correct on that one. You got Magmus roaming around. Again, he has the Eruption coming up, so it looks like that's where they're waiting for. We mentioned the triple stack Ancients were here, but waiting for the Eruption perhaps is going to be able to use it right here to finish them off and get that portal key and make some plays with that. Of course, won't have the Eruption initially, but just the portal key stun alone is pretty powerful. Oh my gosh, he almost died to a power throw, but he did not.
Yeah, Luffy saw them on the void there, walking there, so he took a chance, hoping to get some kills with Snipes and Ancients. And he got 2 and almost killed the Magmus. So nice sets up there.
Good attempt, but I mean, well, again, it still got something out of it, so well played definitely. But Magmus is also still just shy of the portal key, so having to continue to farm a little bit longer before picking that up here. You got Ravener, that mentioned the Abyssal Skull, and into the jungle he goes for the time being as Puppet Master now takes over that top lane. As you do see the Sustainer now finish on Scout coming out.
Yeah, working on the Rune Cleaver for sure. I don't expect an all-stone or anything like that. He needs to farm this game, get a lot of it to carry against this Hellborn side.
Behemoth is striding around with some Veldrod action, but don't know if he's going to get anything out of it here in the end. He's hugging that middle lane for a while, but the Hellborn team not risking it. Again, especially compared to last game, pretty passive game here for the most part. As approaching now 13 minutes into this game. It's a 5-2 hero kill lead for Rexar's Reborn, though. Scout just going away at his own jungle, though. The portal key, however, just picked up on Magmus, so again, this is where maybe you start to see a play being made here. He's going to show the portal key, so he's not afraid to show it, I guess.
No, I don't think they have to make a play. I think they're just comfortable farming on Puppet Master, farming on Ravenor. So, I mean, he could do the thing where he drops it on the ground and then...
Yeah. Choosing not to, though. Just says, you know what? They know I have it. Deal with it.
Yep.
Kind of deal, so... See how they deal with it indeed. Again, the Denver Pro, we saw Ravenor last game by Formless. He did go the Thunderclaw first and then into the portal key. I mean, they were really starting to snowball. Not necessarily happening here, but at the same time, I mean, they have a pretty comfortable lead. We'll see what he goes for, though. Probably get the Warp Cleft here soon if he's going to be getting that Thunderclaw eventually, so should have an answer.
Yeah, with the pace of this game, he could go for the Thunderclaw first and then into the PK, unless he wants a Shrunken head. He does have a lot of setup this time as well, with Magmus, Pyro follow-up, Glacius Freeze, and Puppet, of course, shrouding into Puppet Show and ulti someone. So he doesn't need to get the blink. Oh, Puppet Master top lane.
Yeah, they kind of just run right up to him. The Hatred helping with that. Now, the lockdown, I don't know if it's going to be enough, actually. He's a Puppet Show. Okay, yeah. He is able to get in range for the leech to finish him off. It took a little bit longer than maybe expected, but they do secure the kill in the end.
Yep.
And the Puppets, a good find there. They slow him down a little bit. Meanwhile, back to the Ancients. Magmus using another Eruption on them. So, using those for some kind of kills at least.
Yeah, I would like to see them start farming Pyro up there. But this is a case where, I mean, they do have the blink. They could, potentially, if they want to, they could go force Tier 1 towers because the Legion side does not have blinks on Behemoth or Prisoner, so they can just dive whoever they see with the Magmus into a Pyromancer stun combo, ulti, follow up. Yeah. And then that way they can free up, if they get the tier 1 bottom, they can free up the enemy jungle and they can start farming that while Ravenor or Puppet farms their own and pushes out top lane. That way they gain a lot of map control and forces complexity further back into their base or closer to their tier 2s.
Top 3 farmers in the game right now are on the Hellborn side. You got Ravenor, Magmus, and Puppet Master. Scout has made up some room, though, and again, similar to like a Dark Lady, of course, it's when he gets that Rune Cleaver, so he really will start to take off, ideally, so not the worst thing in the world. But in the meantime, this is pretty bad. Fuzzy Sloth in trouble. A nice fissure block. It's not going to matter, though. Still just too much damage up front, so good kill for the Hellborn side. Another grouped up, pushing this middle lane, knowing that the Legion side can't do much, especially with Prisoner dead. In fact, Magmus still going in with that Regen Rune had popped. A quick kill out of Behemoth. The Voodoo Puppet comes out immediately dead. Ravenor landed the ball lightning onto a Luna in the background. Here comes Prisoner, by the way. I believe that was a buyback. It sure was. Magmus stuns through, though. Prisoner trying to hold his ground. He's in trouble, though, as they get the kill on a Parasite, by the way, who was also in the midst of it with the puzzle box. But Prisoner falling back to the lane. Nobody dying on the side of Rexars right there. And two buybacks used.
I mean, that's what I'm talking about. If they use that portal key before Prisoner and Behemoth has his, and the Parasite just got his puzzle one, I mean, they don't really have much on the Legion side. So they are able to dive that and make it work effectively. Dive like that. And Ravenor just picked up his blink, so he was able to follow up as well.
Yeah.
That's what you want to see there from the Hellborn side. If there was no buyback, they would have been able to transition into a T1 mid tower, which would free up more of the map for them. But that was 2 buybacks from complexity. They're in a deep hole here.
They really are, yeah. I mean, this is a complete opposite as far as game 1 goes. It's Rexars, they get Ravenor, and now they're the ones with a huge lead, so it must be the hero, right? No, it's just, obviously they've played it very well, and this definitely fits their style more, and complexity a little bit unconventional with especially the Scout pickup, but I don't even necessarily think it's that by any means. It's just they've been getting outplayed in a couple places, and it's showing here, so it's good for Rexars. You mentioned the puzzle box and what you got, so he actually has that level 1 currently, looking to progress with it. But he did go Striders as well, so clearly, again, he didn't necessarily have a great farm, but wanted to get that puzzle box as soon as possible.
I agree with that. I mean, you see some people go for an Astrolabe, but if you go on an Astrolabe, then the enemy team doesn't need to kill you. If you have that puzzle free, getting the kill on Parasite before he gets into the Mauler, or maybe, I mean, while he is in it, is a high priority kill. But if you only have an Astrolabe, you're not a high priority kill, and they will go for your, like something like, in this case, Scout Behemoth Prisoner is a high priority kill if he just sits on an Astrolabe. So I like it. You do a lot more with the puzzle box than something like an Astrolabe.
Oh, middle lane. Prisoner might be in some trouble as, nope, the Rev Ward will spot the Invis Puppet Master coming in with the Assassin Shroud and quickly thwart their plans. Glacius off to the side. That should be a quick burst kill on him, as it is. Parasite finds the lonely support, so finds a free kill as a result. I wonder if Alchemist Bones are going to be of priority here on the Hellborn side. I mean, do you think it is important maybe for the Pyromancer perhaps to get it or something like that? Or
no, he will just die. I don't think it's that important. I mean, they have a lot of collateral damage here on the Hellborn side, so I think Puzzle Box will die to either Mag ulti, Pyro, nukes. Ravenor has a lot of AoE as well, so yeah. I don't think it's an issue, and you don't want to be the Pyromancer killing the puzzle box.
That's fair, yeah. This bottom tower, it's going to easily fall right here. Some more gold gain for the Hellborn side as a whole, and 4 of the 5 are actually down here. The only one not here, I believe, is the, well, who is that? That's Glacius, as just resurrecting, so looking to maybe collapse on this middle lane if the Legion side isn't careful. Veiled Rot Magmus coming through, has that portal key. Gonna find a Luna right here at least, but she's just falling back in time, so.
Yeah, I like the voids from Hellborn's side here, from not the best behind the mid tower here, giving out a lot of vision. I'm assuming that was what he was going for before when he got caught, so maybe they can capitalize off this, get a tier 1 tower and force a fight here.
What do you think about Puppet Master? It seems like the Whispering Helm idea on a Puppet Master has kind of dropped off a little bit. It's more like Assassin Shroud into a Shrunken, and we're seeing that here. You think that makes sense?
Yeah, I like it. You don't need the Whispering Helm to farm the jungle. You can also do it without. You just have to walk back, and it takes a little bit longer, so you can't get auto-attacked by the creeps. But you get the Shrunken heads faster, which will help your team fight. The Whispering Helm is not going to help in the team fight. It gives a bit of damage and armor, of course. But for 2,000 gold, you rather work towards a Shrunken head.
Yeah. All right, step 1 down for Complexity. They got the Rune Cleaver on Scout, so that's good news. The bad news is we're 20 minutes into this game already, so not the most ideal time for him, but has it nonetheless, and now let the progression begin. At least that's their game plan, because right now he has a lot of room to make up. Ravener's basically about 150 GPM higher than him, and Puppet Master and Magmus both have a good lead on him as well. So still good news for the Hellborn side, definitely, but at least this is now Complexity having a little bit of sign of hope with that pickup here.
Could start snowballing with that, but they need more map control in order for him to really start farming the map, and they don't have that as it is right now.
Yeah. It is a tough spot here. Tablet of Command picked up by Pyromancer, yeah. Oh, bottom lane, by the way. Puppet might be in a little bit of trouble. Getting the puzzle box. They can see it. With the Assassin Shroud, if they know that he... Okay, I guess they didn't.
They don't have any detection, so... Yeah. But Behemoth just got his blink, so I think they were hoping to spot him and he could initiate before he activated the Assassin Shroud.
Yeah. Alright, but in the end... Unable to do so, Puppet Master falls back and it'll be fine. Pyromancer going the tablet. I want to talk about that. You know, this is a role that you find yourself playing from time to time. You think the tablet is the best choice, or would you maybe rather see a portal key? Or
both would be fine, but I think the tablet is maybe better because of the Behemoth Fissure. Could do some. You could save a teammate or yourself if you get blocked by that. So, of course, the tablet doesn't work against the ball and chain from Prisoner or the Shackled, as it's called.
Yeah,
but I think it gives more stats for you, so I guess it's better in this case.
So having the tablet,
of course, you don't have the initial follow or the instant follow up,
yeah.
But I think that's okay with the team that you have. You have 2 blinks on Magmus and Ravenor, and you have Shroud and Puppet who are getting in there, so it should be all right.
Yeah, Complexity's definitely finding themselves in a very tough spot in that Sky on the Rune Cleaver is good, and I mean, we see the GPM. It hasn't even really risen that much, though, since then, because the map control, you mentioned that, it's still seeming to be a little bit of an issue, unfortunately, and they got some good vision right now of their own jungle, but you still have things like this, where the Veldrot Magmus, he's roaming through. He is going to eventually fall out, but you can tell Complexity still is very scared, even though they have the vision that they do, in terms of going places, because of the jump potential that they're going up against. So Fuzzy's going to try to poke in here in the middle lane, and he will be able to get a little bit of farm there, but can't really go past the river right now, unless you're Scout.
Something we haven't mentioned is Magmus picked up a Storm Spirit, and I really like that.
Wow.
If someone like Ravenor or Puppet gets caught out by B ulti and into the Prisoner ulti Shackle, just the Storm Spirit will be able to save that, and they will be able to make a huge turnaround if he is able to get the Storm off.
Now this is interesting. Yeah, he's in a lot of trouble. Oh, I feel so bad for Scout. You know, this is setting up so well for the Legion team to actually get a kill on a Puppet. But Flex Kavana played that very patient. He actually, I thought he was just going to open on the creep wave, but no, he was scouting it out with the Assassin Shroud, and all of a sudden Scout pops out with the Invis and farms a creep wave, and sure enough, that's where the being patient paid off right there. So very good for him and the Hellborn team, and that's a much bigger hole now than it already was for Complexity. Oh yeah, Luna getting caught.
There's very nice roams coming out from the Hellborn side here. I would like to see them get objectives now. Get the tier 1 mid. 2 heroes are dead. Start pushing your advantage right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a big one at that, and it seems like that they're kind of grouped up middle lane. They're a little indecisive, I feel like, but no, they are going to group up now and maybe go for the push here.
I like it.
Scout's just resurrecting. Luna will be up soon. You got to be a little careful. I mean, the double portal key on Prisoner and Behemoth is a little scary, but
Ravenor just picked up Shrunken head though.
Yeah, so is
he may have had it for a while. Yeah.
I think he just got it. There's the pull onto Pyromancer with a quick tablet. Gonna be fine. So.
Yep,
yeah.
That's why that is more effective than the portal key in that case. So.
Ravenor's also level 16, by the way, so power overwhelming.
Yeah, he's gonna do a ton of damage.
It hurts.
So is Puppet, so I I mean, they have a lot of damage coming out from every single hero, the Hellborn side. Even something like a Glacial Downpour.
Yeah, that's always a fun ability. There
It's
was
RNG based, but it can be in your favor.
Yeah. I know Glacius is getting a nice little buff to his ulti, by the way, with the Staff of the Master. Look forward to that.
Yes. Okay.
I think it was leaked in the Reddit leak that Idager did yesterday, but I don't want to say it just in case. But I am looking forward to it, to say the least.
Yep.
Anyways, bottom lane, they jump on a puppet, and they get the very quick kill. So
well, they use a lot here.
They did, and that's the issue.
Ravenor.
In fact, Ravenor, what a counter from him, jumps on a Parasite. He's able to take over the puzzle blocks, but not for long as Pyro helps to catch and makes it a 1-for-1 so far. Well, I mean, if you're Complexity, I guess you're still not too bad, but it may not be over. As Aluna's also going to get caught. Scout's like, well, not much I can do. Just runs away, so. Big picture, it does work out for the Hellborn team. Double tap for Denver Pro, and I think Kongor may be on their checklist coming up here in the near future.
I mean, they used Behemoth ulti and Prison ulti, so it was the right decision from the Hellborn side to keep chasing, try and find more, because they used everything, so. If you're a puppet there, you're saying, they use everything on me, come kill them all. And that's what they did.
Double
and
damage
now DD
helps.
Ravenor helping on, yep.
That's gonna, oh wow, and he just got the Thunderclaw delivered, so.
It's actually interesting how that works with Conquer, because you proc the Thunderclaw and then your ulti charges stack up. If you don't have that, you don't get max charges while hitting Conquer.
Yeah.
You don't get any charges.
Yeah, it goes up very slowly. You only see one charge every time it procs. It's not fast by any means, but it is a little bit something.
Yeah, but if you have max charges, you stay at max
That's
charges.
true.
You don't lose them.
That's a good point. Yeah, it keeps you at it. So he got it a little bit too late to keep the charges up, unfortunately. But, you know, I say that when his team's up 14,000 gold and 14.5 thousand experience. So he's doing just fine, and now he has a token of life on top of that, of course. So you got to think Complexity is definitely feeling very scared right now, knowing that their chances are very slim, to say the least. They were able to kill Puppet at the bottom lane, but as you stated and as we saw, they used a lot to do so, and then the response came. So they're continuing to grind it out, do what they can. I mean, Scout working on, I'm guessing, what's going to be a Shrunken head here to follow the Rune Cleaver, and I think it makes sense. It's a smart pickup, but it's also a very safe pickup here.
Yeah, it makes sure that Puppet ulti, Glacius, Magmus, and Pyro cannot do damage to you. Then you only have to worry about, of course, Puppet auto attacks and Ravenor.
Which
who,
is
by
still
the
a
way,
lot.
picks off Parasite. Yeah, which is a lot. But you have the disarm ability for one of them. So if you can't kill the Puppet with the other heroes, and then you sit on Ravenor yourself, you might be able to do something.
Yeah. Meanwhile, though, I feel like it's kind of been a trend throughout this game, and it's just because that's how it is. I mean, his teammates keep getting picked off left and right. Mentioned Parasite goes down, also does Behemoth at the top lane, so it's the task just gets tougher and tougher. Whispering Helm eventually picked up on Puppet Master. Said after the Shrunken, actually.
Yeah, it's a little bit weird, but if he wants the lifesteal, I guess that's why the potential to turn around and get some more HP in the fights.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, doesn't get it from the Abyssal Skull, of course. So.
Nope. I mean, they're 16,000 gold ahead at this point, so it won't matter that much.
Yeah. It's going to be an easy tower kill, easy Complexity. Not doing really anything to defend against it, knowing that they can't here. So I'm going to just deal with that. 3,200 more gold saved up on Ravenor. He's got a full inventory right now. Once the token disappears, then you can get something else, but we'll just be saving up until that, most likely. As still 2.5 minutes remaining on that token alive. So, do you ever think Charged Hammer is good to get, especially on a Ravenor who gets Thunderclaw so often, or is it just not worth the upgrade?
I mean, if you don't have I mean, you can't really buff yourself when you have Shrunken head on, as far as I know, with the Charged Hammer. So I don't think it's...
That's a good point.
Yep. Yeah. I think that's the reason why you don't do it. I mean, if you have something like Behemoth Heart, Shaman's Headdress, Abyssal Skull, a lot of armor, just tanky, then having a Charged Hammer to put that buff on yourself could be something.
Yeah.
But that's not the most effective build you can go for.
Mm-hmm. Well, 570 gold per minute. Again, he's sitting on the token still, but once that wears off, he's going to have something big coming to him, I'm sure. You know, he doesn't have his attack modifier yet. The Frostburn and the full Dawnbreaker would be out of the question. Behemoth starting to know we've seen. I know we've seen Frost of Skull, so it definitely has choices here.
Yep, for sure.
Ganjiro.
I'd like to see Magmus is not farming that much anymore, but I would like to see him get a Shrunken head as well, so he can guarantee his team more stuns than just the one and done if he gets caught by any sort of stuns.
You see the bottom lane, they're pushing it out a little bit right here. Scouts finding some room at the top lane. So again, we're 30 minutes into the game, and Sky has this Rune Cleaver and doesn't even have a second item yet. It's just, it's not good for complexity. And that's the thing too. It's like, and when he gets, it's going to be a Shrunken head, which again, it's pretty necessary this game, but it's not the offensive tool. I mean, their damage is still going to be kind of lacking here.
Yeah, it's not the damage tool they need for sure, but he kind of needs it anyway. So, but they do have the Behemoth. I mean, it's very hard to push high ground against the Behemoth.
Yeah. Oh. Well, there we go. Nice hook on a puppet. But you look at the retreat, though. They hook in puppet match, and they all fall back.
Yeah, but they can't really do more. Now they force the Shrunken. And that's actually a huge win.
Yeah.
So far, it's very hard to fight right now. You're 20,000 gold in experience behind.
Oh boy.
It needs to go perfect.
You look at Frost of Skull is actually being delivered right now. The token again, it still has a couple more seconds on it, but he's probably he just drops it. He says there's no point now. So
yeah.
It's gonna despawn.
Do get full
here.
life mana if you keep it, right? I think this does a change at some point.
You get full life and mana?
Yeah, when it respawns or when it like expires, don't you?
No.
If you're not getting hit by an enemy hero for a certain amount of time.
Really?
I think there's something about that. Yeah, no?
I don't think.
Okay, I might be wrong.
maybe that's been like thought about and maybe tested, but no, I don't think that's a live
thing.
thing.
Yeah, I confused games here again. Sorry.
Or that too, perhaps. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, in that case, yeah, he just drops his. Obviously, he's about to expire and picks up the Frost of Skull that we mentioned. Just purchased here, so. Good luck killing him now. Oh, big fight on the Scout, by the way. The puppet shows on him. He is able to get the kill on a Magmus, actually. Glacial Downpour, that Shrunken head, though. It's mitigating it all. You see the marksman shot. Nice red stun as well. And look at this. It's all of a sudden 3 kills for complexity. So, hey, they get a good fight, make it 4 kills, and nobody dies. So, all of a sudden, well, this game is not over, apparently, says complexity.
Nice catch from them. That's what they needed, and they need more of that. But I mean, what the players are thinking right now is, oh no, we threw the game here. So momentum has a lot to say at this point. Even though the stats are still heavily in Hillborn's favor, they might be a bit shaken up on that, getting the 4 for nothing.
Yeah, that's true. You know, again, they don't have all these stats in front of them to see that. Okay, they're still in a very comfortable spot, and on their mind, they could be, we're now might be in a little bit of trouble. But yeah, no, they, as we see, they definitely still are in a great spot. But that gap has definitely closed quite a bit, and that's good news for complexity. Because now, you know, as we're just talking about, it's like, okay, he has a Shrunken, it's necessary, but he still doesn't make a damage threat. Now you think, okay, he has 3,500 gold, something big is coming here. What is coming, though? What do we think Scout should get here for his damage potential now?
I mean, Wingbow is not bad in this case, but he really needs a damage item. But it will force both Puppet and Ravenoid to try and build a Savage Maze, which I don't want. It could be something, but he might also go for something else like a Geometer's Bane to get the more mobility and survivability that it gives. Also, the illusions have the disarm ability as well.
You do see the Dancing Blade purchased right there, so the Wing Bow, very likely the option here.
It's a damage and survivability item, so I like it.
It's a nice mix.
Yep.
Being melee, it also will return some damage as well with that change, so nothing too big, but it's something to help at least. But he still needs a little bit more before he has it. In fact, getting pretty greedy here at the bottom tower. He's going to get it and run away. Oh, he didn't silence in time. He was hoping to silence before they jumped him. But now he's going back in, actually. Look at this. Pretty mana play here from Formless. Uh-oh.
They don't have an eye or in dust here, right?
He is. Oh, I thought, okay, yeah, here goes the dust.
Nice.
Yeah, he missed the initial stun. It doesn't matter, though. It's a dead Formless. Yeah, going back in there was a very risky play from Formless, and clearly the poor decision
It was
there.
a risky play. Oh, mid lane. Puppet Master.
It's going at it,
Nice
but gets the kill
initiation.
on a prisoner, and now Parasite looking to get a turn kill of sorts. I don't know if that's happening, though. Maybe. I mean, the leech comes out after the Shrunken wears off. Here comes Pyromancer. Behemoth jumps in, though. Jumps in that Mauler does. Parasite and the final auto attack from the Wizard gets the kill, actually. So well played there from what you got to get a kill onto the lonely Puppet Master. Pyromancer trying to chase down. Pyromancer's dropping, man. Needs to be careful about the puzzle box here. Magmus, he missed the stun because Behemoth also porkeyed in, but it is enough for the kill on a Pyromancer. What is going on here, man? That's some funky play. Meanwhile, though, bottom lane, look at Ravener. He's like, okay, you guys have your fun. I'm pushing base. He needs to be
So
careful.
close to both Puppet and Pyromancer surviving there. And Magmus blink stunned where Behe was, and then Behe blinked at the same frame and stunned the Pyro, and the creeps just finished them off.
Yeah.
So clutch plays coming out there. And bottom tower is deniable now. So worth keep note of.
I feel like base towers, though, are never towers you want to deny.
No. But it's good for the Hellborn sign. That's
Okay.
the Hellborn side. I mean,
That it's that low.
if they win a fight here, it makes it easier for them to get racks here. So
Gotcha.
at this point of the game, if they don't have buybacks or something like that.
What do you think of post haste on Ravener here? And he's one of the spots where his inventory is pretty full, I guess. So just upgrades.
Yeah, I like it. He needs a TP, and at the same time, you don't want to have a scroll of teleport in the and replace one of your items that you have at the moment. So it's very good pickup here. And you have the ability to just port around, gives more map control.
See, cleaning up the ancients here. You got the Soul's Bulwark on a Magmus, by the way, so good for the team to have. It looks like Hellflower in the works for Puppet Master to follow up what he's got going here. So
I like it.
More lockdown.
The Hellflower Puppeteer's ult is a good combo. It's basically like if you combo those two, a 5-second sheep stick. So
Yeah, that's strong. Kongor, he's definitely going to die. I mean, it was spotted here by the red power throw, but obviously just for information. Complexity not interested in defending that.
at this point, when you're behind this Legion here, you don't want to force a fight there. It's hard to get in.
Ooh, now what do you think about them giving the token a Puppet here?
He has been the one dying, so I like it. He's squishier than the Ravenor, and Ravenor has almost 3000 HP. It's very hard for them to kill Ravenor, and if they use everything on him, Puppet will kill the team. So, top fighting. Oh,
Maybe.
never mind. Scout gets out. He got Storm Spirited, so I think he opened on Glaciers or something. I'm not sure if you caught that.
No, I didn't actually, but he gets away
He was Storm
somehow.
Spirited and gets away. Yeah.
You'd think that wouldn't happen, but he managed to do it. Maybe a silence came in there or something, but managed to escape.
I guess maybe the electric guy got them. It's
Yeah.
a 6-second silent. That's very powerful. AoE.
Yeah, and it's physical. I always like to stress that too. It's meaning
works through Shrunken heads.
exactly. So there's that extra benefit there. I can take advantage
pretty
of.
manly
Oh
here.
my gosh! Yeah, he finally gets a kill on a Glacius. Finds him in the middle lane. He could
I
definitely
mean, they're so
quickly
far
kill.
behind that he kind of has to go for these risky plays, and he knows it for them to win the game. And if it pays off, they climb their way back. So
And that's kind of the scout hero, right? He's a very, I'm going to jump you out of nowhere and get a quick kill on you to get away. I mean, that's kind of how the hero works. So he's trying to really use that to its advantage. You know, this isn't like a Dark Lady that just sits and even later game just farms, continues to do that. He's has potential to get kills himself. So
yeah, Scout can be anywhere. The same way as a Fate, he can be anywhere anytime. Of course, it's harder to catch the Fate because he can walk through trees and stuff. But he has the potential to farm anywhere on the map.
yeah. We have a pause coming out here from our Hellborn team, so hopefully nothing too long here. Again, this is the only series here today, guys. Just a reminder, after this will be the final game here, but definitely been a good one. It was a very quick game, number one, a 16-minute victory for Complexity, and definitely a very dominating victory for them, but it's been the opposite here. It was initially, at least for the most part here, as far as Rexar is Reborn, making a strong statement here in game two, but Complexity is battling it out. They're staying in there, and they're grinding it. I mean, still behind, but hey, they have all their racks. Scouts getting more and more farm. The wing bow is actually Got to be finished soon. We have been talking a lot about Scout, I will say, though, and not really much about anyone else. So kind of looking through the rest of the team. I mean, you got really the expected at this point. The Portkey Shrunken on Prisoner, Portkey Tablet on Behemoth. You got a Tablet on a Luna even. And then, the puzzle box and a little bit of follow-up there for Parasite. So nothing really shining here, but at least they got some nice core going on.
Yeah, I would like to see someone pick up a Bulwark at some point. I would assume Parasite would go for it, but else Prisoner is also a guy who could do that. Behemoth went for the tablet as well here, same as Luna. So they have a lot of mobility getting out of mag stunts and pyro stunts, trying to mess up any sort of chain stun coming out from the Hellborn side.
Yeah.
And of course trying to get away from Ravenor. It's a huge thing. It's really hard to get away from a puppet show, Voodoo Puppet, so tablets are not going to help you there.
All right, looks like we're ready to go here, so resume in action. Now, Rexar's Reborn. Rexar's Reborn, it's been a while. We saw them earlier with their token. Remember, Puppet has a token now for 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Does Rexar's Reborn really need to try to use this token and push into the base, or can they play it safe? Can they play it passive, you think, and have this
It's very hard
longer?
to push against the Behemoth, and also the Prisoner hook could hook someone, like, even if you're with the token hitting a tower, you can get hooked into almost the tier 4s here. So they don't have to do much. They need a pickoff into pushing. That's better than having a token, in my opinion, at this point.
A couple of interesting pickups here. You got the Behemoth's Heart on Ravener now, so dude has 3,800 life, as well as he's hitting pretty damn hard on top of that, so nice little combo there.
Actually, Pyromancer picked up the Ultimate Bones. I'm not sure how long he has
he just got it.
Maybe
yeah.
he just got it? Okay, yeah. It's, I mean, you do also have the Glacier Freeze, which I didn't say earlier, to just freeze the Mauler, and then he won't do anything.
True.
So that in itself is a counter. So you don't need the Ultimate Bones. But,
I feel like, so, okay, you mentioned you can do that, but is that something you're using it on? Like, okay, well, hold that thought, because here we go. The pull in Ravener. Ravener's like, thank you very much. I'm going to go on you now. And Prisoner's trying to run the whole time. Look at how deep he's going right here. They kill the tower. And you don't want to go all the way to the well, though. I mean, Ravener is tanky. Big counter jump from Behemoth, though. Ravener's dropping. He gets really low right here, and he might be in trouble. He does go down. Prisoner is low, but they got Puppet Master as well. Magmus in trouble. He goes down. How is the Legion team winning this so well? Scout's chasing him out. On a Puppet Master. Disarm's coming. A couple more auto attacks. That should do it. He gets the kill on a Puppet Master. A couple of double taps happening as also Glacius falls. It's a genocide. 4 complexity holding at their base. Wow. Did not see that coming.
Oh, nice hook coming up from Fuzzy starting that, forcing the Hellborn team to just run up there, trying to help their Ravenor. I think he should have turned around. I mean, just hit the tower and then reset, because you don't have to dive that far and set up an excellent opportunity for Behemoth to come in and get multiple heroes stunned from your team. That's very well played by Legion side.
Yeah, and it's hard to, as usual, it's hard to pick up on everything that's going on in a fight, but even watching back on the replay, Behemoth, that was a big jump by him to start it off, but Scout was able to just get in there and do plenty of nice auto attacks, and obviously he was a big part to their success, a lot of their damage output outside of the initial burst. So especially now with the wing bow, and now another 3,300 gold. I mean, again, this goes back to what I was bringing up earlier, how I really think Scout, do not underestimate the hard carry potential of a hero of this hero. I mean, he will hit very hard and very fast, and we're kind of starting to see that now.
Yep. It is a very strong hero, and he's going to close in on his next damage item here, so it's going to be even more trouble for the Hellborn side.
Yeah. Double damage. Oh, he's going to walk by it. Uh-oh. Well, I mean, they know it's here, so guess they're just protecting and bottling it. Okay, yeah, Behemoth.
Hellborn are going to go for a smoke play here, or Veiled Rot play.
Yeah, they're looking for a kill. I mean, you see in the jungle.
Parasite
maybe. Not even going to go all the way, though. There's a ward of sight here, but...
I mean, that's actually all they need. They need to find a hero, get that pick off, and then they can push.
Oh, they want to try to jump this Parasite, but can't get there in time, and instead they'll just have to continue farming. I wonder if this ward of sight actually saw them using the Veiled Rot. Because it seemed like Complexity actually reacted to that very well.
But they saw Pyromancer run up there, as well as someone else, I think. But they did use them at the observatory. But as soon as you see a Pyromancer just run into a jungle, you know something's up like that. You don't just do that on your own. Unless maybe sometimes you have a Void in you, but he didn't, so...
Yeah.
And you're simply making a misplay there, going deep into enemy jungle without any vision. It's you expect something to be up, which Complexity did there.
Puppet Master, that Hellflower that we mentioned a while back, I mean, I feel like he's been working on that for a long time now. Still doesn't
Two Revenant Illusions hitting melee racks down bottom.
Oh, wow. Yeah, doing some good damage, actually. But in the end, get killed off by Prisoner right there, so holding them off from doing too much here. Ravener grouping up with the team, though, bottom lane. It seems like the Hellborn side, they're definitely aware that, yeah, as this game progresses on, it could get a little scary, so I want to try to break into the racks right here, but as you continue to go back to near, it's Behemoth especially makes it difficult. And then you got a Prisoner who's throwing in hooks, as we've seen now several times, do some work here as they try to push in, so it is not an easy task, even though they've had such a lead here.
Yeah, they don't have to do this. I mean, still keep trying looking for the pickoff. They don't have to. They have dual carry. They have Puppet and Ravenborn, which is a Scout. So even though Scouts has 6 items, I would take 2 hard carries with 6 items over 1 hard carry any day.
Good point. Now, Ravener poking in.
I'm gonna chip in here.
I will say Behemoth last time, he had a big shockwave with a large creep wave. As it's going in right here, uh-oh. Man, that was a chance. Here we go. He will take it a little bit late. But Ravener, the Sword Spirit, does come out. Prison Break to follow. Gets pulled back, and Ravener's dead off the bat. They could not back him up nearly effectively enough. And this is a big fight so far for the Legion side. The Eruption coming out, trying to make some plays. They get the one count of Scout, actually. Oh my god, he died so quickly. That ultimate from Puppet Master was insane. Wow.
Yep, that was huge ulti on top of the glacial downpour, bursting down that Puppet right away. Oh, that was a huge turn coming out.
I thought Complexity was going to run that over.
Yep,
Jeez.
Nice initiation coming out from Oscar there on Behe. I mean, he did solo ulti, only the Ravenor, but his Fissure hit 4 people. And that set up the kill onto the Ravenor.
Yeah.
And his team could follow up in that time duration that it took for the enemy team or for Hellborn to react after the Fissure stun expired. So that was very, very nice initiation. It's one of those few times where the solo shockwave onto 1 hard carry is good.
Absolutely. Again, you see Scott as soon as he gets on Ravener just so quickly, but look at this. I'm watching the replay real quickly. Scott's at full life. The Eruption comes out, but then all of a sudden a couple of auto attacks as the Voodoo Puppets put out, and he's dead. I mean, that was just so quick. And that happened on him.
If he does not have Shrunken head, he has 2,000 HP and no vestments.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you don't expect the vestment at this point, but it does a lot of damage.
Yeah. So he did eventually buy back, as we see here. So he has used 1. We do have a Brutalizer on him as well, though, so it's a little bit more damage burst, as well as a nice lockdown here. Seems like it's a great item to pick up for Scout as any attack speed hero.
Also, very heads-up play by Flex Kavana, getting that Voodoo Puppet out there. So.
Absolutely, and he now has finished the Hellflower. He didn't have that in the last fight, so it's going to be important to come in pretty effective here. Again, it goes back to what the issue has continued to be, this Behemoth. So I don't know how they deal with it, though. I mean, it's
it's hard. It's, as I say, they need to get a pick off first, I think, to just push in there. Or this time they remove the Lightning Claw from Ravenor and give him the token, and then they can do it. Then he can die once and hit the racks.
Yeah.
Because if Ravenor respawns in a fight like the one before, I mean, Hellborn is gonna roll over the Legion side.
Well, here we go. Assassin Trap Puppet Master. There is a Rev Horde here, so he can't feel like he's invincible by any means.
Oh, that was a hook, so now he could hit.
There we go, running in, knowing that the hook's down. Look at that marksman shot, though.
That's 1,000 damage.
Yeah, well,
because
because it scales with the health, yeah. So that's a good point, that 30% of target's maximum health. So he went for a very bulky build here as far as nearly 4,000 life, but marksman shot's a decent counter to that.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, and they're gonna fall back again here. I feel like if Ravenor could have backed off and then Puppet could have hit the racks after the hook was used. Because if they solo ulti the Puppet, I think Ravenor will do more damage than the Puppet at this point. But they go for the safer choice and go for Kongor. You can't really argue with that. That's a good decision as well.
Yeah. Now, it's not a guaranteed Conqueror. In fact, they're running as if they want to maybe jump somebody themselves, but no one there yet.
Sort of. They do have not the best as a good ward here on the cliff, so if they walk that way, they will get spotted.
Yeah. Ooh, double damage scout. He has it for another 28 seconds, so this is a chance for the Legion side.
Oh, yeah, it's for over 500 here. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, well, the courier gets picked off, just scouting with it.
Yep.
But this scout is ready to drop somebody quickly. Oh, he needs to be careful though with that bound eye. Yeah, it's having to play very safe here. 2 bound eyes, in fact. Magmus and Glacius. There's one in a Luna as well, so there's 3 bound eyes right now in this game between the teams. But in the end, the double damage rune is not going to come through. And the Hellborn team, though, they don't go for Kongor either.
Well, they played more passive here. It's a dance around Kongor kind of thing here. No one wants to really throw the game, so they've been patient, both teams here.
Ravener will just farm away the Ancients in the meantime. 3,000 gold saved up on him, so of course buybacks are going to be of very big importance here as we move along.
If a fight breaks out here, they could buy back easier on Hellborn side and get back into the fight faster. Of course, all their tier 2 towers are down, but their Conqueror pit is still pretty close.
Man, I feel like they could just go for Conqueror now and feel pretty comfortable with it, but okay, they are going to counter ward once again.
Yeah, but you don't really see the Legion side heroes, so
yeah, it's scary.
Counter-voiding like that and then going for it is definitely the safest play here.
Alright, red power throw comes through, but not going to really sway them. They're going to
They
commit
see Scout
to it.
top, so they're going to surrender it or give it up and push top.
Maybe Scout's not going, actually. He's not going all the way into the base. You know, he doesn't see them, so
yeah, there could be a
sense.
Magmus setup if he hits the tower, so
yeah.
you don't want to risk dying there and give them a token and have to buy back when they push. It's not what you want.
Okay, so important there. Thunderclaw, I believe, was just outright sold by Ravener, and then he picks up the token himself here. Banana's picked up by Puppet Master.
Yeah, I like it. Now this time Ravenor can hit the base, and if they solo initiate or solo shockwave him, he will come right back up again. So it's going to be very hard for Complexity to win this. They will need buybacks from their heroes.
Getting a Savage Mace, I'm sure, is something that they have on their mission as well, and so maybe Ravener going to be looking to pick that up here once the token does wear off.
Probably, yeah. He might even look into selling the Blink here, since the way that they're playing, he's hitting the Brax, right? And waiting for them to initiate. So he's in there already. He doesn't need to blink on them.
Yeah.
So that might also be an option to sell the Blink.
Going to clear out the bottom lane here, and then seems like yeah, we're going to be in
Simple on
another
Puppet
phase.
will also be a huge thing here. If he can, so if they go on him, he might be able to turn.
Savage or Symbol, though? What would you want here?
I think I would want the Simple more. Simply because you can always get the Voodoo Puppet on the Scout, save it for him. And then when the Shrunken head wears off, you use that and then you just hit the Puppet and he dies, like before.
Yeah, we saw how
It's not like
fast
the Puppet
he
doesn't have evasion, so... Yep, exactly.
Dude,
Look at Scout, though. He's now feeding on the melee racks of top lane, so they have a decision to make.
Yeah, they should initiate. Yeah, they caught the Behe.
Okay, they go on Behemoth. That's the target they want. Big burst, not enough for the kill, though. He gets the team support himself, but Scout does pick off the melee racks top. Here go the melee racks bottom, though, in favor of the Hellborn side. Scout's not going middle, though. So, again, this is continuing to be a very interesting base trade here.
I would like to see Hellborn just go mid here, because they will push faster than the Scout.
As a team, yeah. You would figure that. Glacius is
They're
porting back,
back.
but he's going to be stopped. Behemoth
see them go
stops
for it.
him. That was huge.
Or bottom. Prisoner. Uses Shrunken head.
Oh my gosh. Scout's pushing middle still. And now he has the melee racks. Nobody is back to defend. What is going on here? Ravener, he could pour back, but he knows that he might be stopped if he goes for it. Glacius is going to be picked off. Scout gets 2 melee racks by himself. He dodges the stun from Pyromancer, but he doesn't dodge the ball lightning. However, he got the invis off. Oh man, that was huge. And he's going to be able to escape out of there for the time being. What on earth just happened? Complexity. They now have, I mean, you could argue they have a lead now with the 2 racks going down.
They got some nice TP cancelled. and then made it possible for Scout to take another lane of Rax. I would have liked to see Hellpoint just go for the mid Rax, ignore the Scout, and if they can initiate on Behemoth or Prisoner with the Magmus, or even Parasite, anyone, then just do it, because there's no Scout. They have a 5 versus 4. Legion side will lose that fight.
Yeah.
And even if they lose 2 Rax, then they can just take the mid after.
Exactly.
But it's also the case where the Legion side, of course, they could have buybacks and they could kill them, but then they have to use those buybacks, and then you might be a Rax behind, but then you can just go again right after you respawn and maybe lose that fight. So you will come out ahead from just pushing 4 versus 5.
Yeah.
5 versus 4.
And I know as spectators, it's a lot easier for us to say, of course, you know, we're not in the heat of the moment when they're in the combat there, but it really did seem like Rex's their biggest mistake was they didn't commit to anything. They were really in that void, that in-between of like, we kind of want to fall back, but we kind of want to keep pushing here, and they were being very, very safe with it, and that's where Scout was all in. I mean, he's like, no, I'm just going to beat away at your melee Rex and kill both of them, because you're clearly not doing anything about it. So getting caught in that in-between was the biggest issue, I think, for Rexars here. And
it's very hard to make the right decision in the heat of the moment in that case. But it comes with experience. What should I do here?
Well,
but here they are pushing again. I like it.
Yeah, this time Scout's not backdooring.
Those 2 Rexes doesn't really matter at this point of the game. I mean, it doesn't hold them back. Of course, the top lane is pushing it now, but it's still not a huge impact on the game.
Yeah. Well, they're not committing just yet. I mean, the token's only 30 seconds remaining, so I mean, I'm honestly shocked that Ravener's playing so safe. Like, he has the token. I feel like they could play. Yeah, I mean, that's a big fight on the Scout. Here is Scatter, though, from Behemoth, the Prison Break coming out. Scout stays alive, puts in the auto attacks, gets a kill on the Puppet Master. Ravener's going to fall in complexity once again, winning this fight. Ravener now, he's in trouble, running away after the resurrection. They're going to chase, though, is Complexity. Marksman shot coming out. It's going to connect, doing a lot of damage because of the life pool. Magmus in the background. He is going to be able to get an eruption off. Not really the greatest damage, though. So much damage in the meantime from Scout, who has a symbol, by the way. He does fall in the end, however. He ends up going down, and he does not have a buyback. That's important right now. As Ravener buys back, and he's porting back in. That could be it, if anything, for Rexars. Scout's dead. Behemoth can buy back, as can Prisoner. So it's not 100% over just yet by any means. Parasite, excuse me, is going to get caught here. He's going to stay alive. Magmus will go down instead as they pull in Ravener. Ravener's now in a pretty bad spot, but he's doing so much damage with that Savage Mace that he has now. And that quickly drops Behemoth trying to hold his ground. So now Behemoth is staying dead as a Scout. So, oh, wow. Look at the base, though. You're right. Oh, my gosh. They needed to defend that. They can't, though. Ravener doesn't have a TP. Oh my god, is this going to be a base race that's won by Complexity? Pyromancer, he is back at least. He's going to be able to defend somewhat. Puppet is here. And they are finally going to be able to hold it off, but all the way down to no life on their Tier 4 tower. The sacrificial shrine almost exposed this game, though. Unbelievable finish we're having here.
Yeah, that was Behemoth's buybacks and Prisoner's buybacks, and the Scout used... did he use one too here as well?
No.
As soon as Puppet died, he immediately bought post haste, came back into the fight, used the Voodoo Puppet on the Scout, and got the kill on him. So that was huge for them. And then, I mean, the fight lasted so long, so it was intense.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, and I was sitting there thinking, like, I really felt like Rexars could have been a little bit more aggressive. Then finally they jumped really bottom lane. They caught Scout, and it almost worked out. But obviously, that similar rage, though, that caught me off guard. I wonder if it caught them off guard, too. That Scout all of a sudden heals up massively.
If Fuzzy did not have a Storm Spirit there, Scout would have been instantly dead to that initiation they had.
True.
To start out the fight there. So, good heads up by Fuzzy getting that.
Buyback situation. Behemoth and Prisoner are completely out. Scout has one. On the other side, you got Puppet Master and Ravener. 2 very important heroes down to 1 buyback themselves. So, of course, favoring the Hellborn side. But, I mean, we're talking about a game where the Hellborn team had a lead of 20,000 gold and 20,000 experience at a point. I mean, this is honestly coming to be one of the better comebacks we've ever seen. I mean, it's not a lead that you come back from, especially with the, I mean, and it's not like, oh, this was a early game team that just tapered off. I mean, Ravener and Puppet, by all means, are carries that will carry into the late game and stand their ground. So this has just been very well played by Complexity.
Definitely. If there's a team that's good in the game, this is one of them. They're notorious for that.
Yeah.
So it's very well played. I mean, 20,000 gold experience against the Hellborn lineup here. It's very hard to come back from. They're managing. Nice to see. This is, I mean, you can't really say that anyone has an advantage right now. The stats, even though there's 2,000 gold, 4,000 experience, it doesn't matter. It's a 1 hour game, so.
Yep.
It's very interesting at this point.
This is anyone's
Comes down to
game.
one initiation here. If Behemoth or Prisoner gets caught here, I mean, it might open up a chance for a front push.
Parasite has 6,200 gold. I feel like that should be spent into something, man. I mean, no, buyback's good too, but
he's farmed. Yeah.
Sheepstick,
he has the
maybe?
Full parcel. Yeah. I think he wants the buybacks. I think that's why he hasn't bought a straight out a sheepstick.
Yeah.
Then he doesn't have a buyback. He values his buyback more than that.
I think Storm Spirit then and still have one buyback at least might be a good option here. I just feel like that's just too much gold to be sitting on in a game like this. But
yeah, it is a lot, especially since it's nearing its end here. So
yeah,
exactly. Might not be able to get the sheep and the buyback. That's true.
Well, here we go. You see they're roaming around. I mean, Kongor is, I think, maybe 3 or 4 minutes here. He should be maybe 3 minutes or so. And that's probably what we may end up waiting for here, as understandably.
Look at what Hellborn did with the Voids here. They put them defensively on their own cliffs, so they should be able to see any kind of backdoor.
Yep.
They're very scared at this point. I understand them.
Well, yeah, their tier 4 tower has 10 life at the sacrificial shrine.
All they need is a scout. I think also they're waiting for the invulnerability to be up again for their shrine.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's a scout backdooring, they can TP back and use the invulnerability. Then they will be able to live. So.
You know what you got should buy at least? He should buy post haste, honestly. He still doesn't even have that. He has striders. He's sitting on 6,500 gold, so it seems like that would actually be the best investment here right now, at the very least.
Yeah, they could go for a backdoor play here with post haste.
Oh, wow.
Especially with Parasite using the creeps, putting them up there and then post hasting in.
Yeah.
That's an option.
Well, speaking of that, obviously post haste is now a very important item here, and you got the Legion side. Nobody has it, actually, where the Hellborn side, Puppet Master, Pyro, and Ravener, of course, have had it now for a little bit. So that's definitely to the Hellborn's advantage there. And that's where you do look at something like Scout and wonder maybe the post haste would be a good pickup here for him coming up. As I say that, you see Behemoth actually buys one right there. What did Parasite buy? Something's on the courier. It's a Hellflower. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, then he also has a buyback, so it's cheaper than the sheepstick. Of course, it's a little bit less effective, but the Hellflower into a Parasite Slow kind of makes it like a sheepstick. So
yeah.
Kongor's being attempted again.
Yeah, up a little bit quicker than I thought, actually. Those are just illusions right there, so quickly kill them off. Picks up a haste rune. Another illusion coming in.
Picks up the token this time, and then they give bananas to someone else, like a Pyro or Magmus.
Look at Scout. Look at Scout at the shrine. They have to make a decision, yeah. They're going to start porting back, and they will eventually scare him off. So a little bit of damage. I wasn't really expecting a kill. In fact, Scout gets caught. They got the bound. He pops the Shrunken, though. Here comes a counterplay with Behemoth. And Puppet Master's dead just like that. He does have a buyback. He uses it immediately. Magmus gets pulled in, though. He does not have a buyback, and he goes down. Pyromancer is going to tap it away, but that was huge from him. You know, Oscar, to me, has been the MVP here for complexity.
He has had some very impressive initiations here. Winning them some. Oh,
wow.
They're going in.
Yeah, they're really feeling confident here. Quick Storm Spear out of Ravener, actually, to stop him from doing damage. And now the turn from Scout, the symbol of rage pop, Puppet Master. He's feeling it despite that Shrunken end, and he'll go down again. He is out of buybacks now. Ravener's in trouble. Ravener's trying to hold his ground, but he can't. The disarm! The disarm! The brutalizer procs! He goes down! Ravener does have his final buyback. He has to use it. They vote to concede even. I mean, you might as well play out, but okay, GG, well played.
With the buyback.
Wow. Complexity takes game 2, and they win the series 2-0. Wow, what a comeback.
Also a huge comeback from them. 20,000 golden experience behind. I mean, that's very amazing. Especially with I mean, they do have the Behemoth, so, I mean, that was impressive.